Family, how are we all doing today? Happy Monday, happy eclipse day, 8th of April. We've got a solar eclipse in Aries, which is conjunct Chiron in Aries. Go look at all the astrology node pages. Yeah, it's quite an intense one. So I really just encourage everyone to be spending as much time on self-care and self-nourishment as possible. That's really what this eclipse is asking of us, we are not victims of the eclipse. The eclipse is helping us to let go of old pathways, old patterns, old self-limiting beliefs so that we can move forward and step into our greatest timeline, embodying our highest self in this here and now. So I just quickly want to jump on here to chat about my free workshop that's taking place in 2 days' time on Wednesday, the 10th of April, happening on Zoom. You can RSVP via the link in my bio, and it will happen at 6 p.m. CET SAST, so that's European South African time. And yeah, so this is going to be a really great workshop for any and every woman. I think there's always more space for us, even myself included, to become more embodied in our feminine cycles, to become more in tune with the cyclical nature of our feminine body. And today I just want to speak about why we struggle, especially as women, to prioritize ourselves. Because really what cyclical living does is it helps us to efficiently manage our time, manage our energy, and make space in our life for being busy at the same time as being deeply connected to ourselves and prioritizing our self-care. It's not one or the other. We get to have both. We really, really do get to live in a world where we get to be super busy and hustling and making money and making things happen for ourselves at the same time as being relaxed, nourished, pleasured, and connected to our sensuality, which is really just a fancy way of saying connected to our bodies and prioritizing our body. Because we live so much in our head, we live so much of our days in our head, that then when we do need to be in our body, when we, get into a yoga class or we, engage with someone intimately, that's when all these things start to come up, right? Because we've spent so long living in our heads, ignoring what's happening in our body. But as I've said many times before, we manifest from our subconscious. The subconscious is the body. And so if there's gunked up emotions, old stuff, old trauma, suppressed shit sitting in your body, that is the state at which you're going to manifest from. You're going to manifest to the degree at which you've cleared your limiting beliefs. You're going to manifest to the degree in which you feel healthy and connected and free and open and expressed in your body, right? So really prioritizing self-care, prioritizing doing the deep inner work, prioritizing going to therapy, getting body work done, investing in yourself, working with a coach, all of these things are going to have a profound impact on your external life, especially when it comes to things like making money, because you're not going to be able to make more money if your self-worth determines I'm only worthy at making X amount of money. We're going to hit these glass ceilings, and the glass ceilings are determined by our self-worth, by our deep connection to ourselves, by the amount of deep inner healing work that we've done on ourselves, okay? So really prioritizing doing the deep inner healing work is going to have a massive ripple effect on every aspect of your life, whether it's your self-care, whether it's your ability to make money, whether it's, your confidence, your ability to speak your truth, your openness in relationships, your ability to be connected to others, your ability to feel confident and self-expressed in sexual experiences. It all has a ripple effect. So why do we as women not prioritize ourselves? Okay, so I've kind of broken it down into two main reasons. Number one being we think we don't have enough time because we have too many other responsibilities, work, to-do lists, family, husband, kids, whatever it is, social life. So really, we have the time for what we value. We make time for what we value. And so if we do not value a deep internal relationship with ourselves, then we're not going to prioritize that. And so what's the beauty of what I'm going to teach you in the Cyclical Living workshop that's specifically aimed at women who feel like they are too busy for self-care? And so really, it's going to be really important for you to turn this question onto yourself and say, why don't I feel like I'm worthy of being prioritized? Why don't I feel like my body is worthy of time to take care of it? Why do I feel like I'm not worthy of going for a massage or acupuncture or Reiki or whatever it is? Like, why do I not think that I can schedule that into, my work week? Because we really need to be scheduling in self-care on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. It's not just something we do as an added extra when we have the time. And a lot of women will maybe, go for a run, go to the gym, do exercise, but really when you live in a feminine based body, in a body with a womb, you need to be connected to your womb. You need to be connected to the deep internal sensual parts of yourself. We need to focus on spiritual self-care as well as physical self-care, okay? Taking the time to check in with ourselves. We make time for what we value. And if you don't value checking in with yourself, if you don't value having a relationship with yourself, having, processing your emotions, creating that space, then you're not going to make time for it. So it's really around how can we shift our priorities? How can we start to value these more feminine, soft, connective, intimate experiences with ourselves? And not place so much value on money, work, external life, social life, focus, blah, 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 school, uni, whatever it is. Like, yes, that is important, but it's just as important to have a deep emotional relationship with yourself. Okay, this is so, so important. And so if you think that you don't have enough time, I just want you to check in with yourself and see, why do I not prioritize myself? What is stopping me from prioritizing myself? Maybe there's some unworthiness blocks. Maybe there's some self-sabotage there. Maybe there's some, deeper trauma or deeper thing that's saying you're not important. And it's not this is a conscious belief. These are subconscious beliefs that are determined by our subconscious, which is determined by our programming, our childhood, our trauma, and through repetition. Because that's how the subconscious learns, that's how the subconscious is reprogrammed, is through repetition. So if we repeatedly choose work over self-care, then we are repeatedly telling our body work is more important than self-care. And so it's really about how we prioritizing our time. Where are we putting our energy in? Where are we putting our focus in? Because wherever attention goes, energy flows, right? So if we put attention on our self-care, we're going to flow more energy into that space. And we can then, once we are nourished from deep within, we can start to overflow. So it's not about I need to give and extend myself and, like sacrifice my energy to do X, Y, Z. No, it's about nourishing yourself first. And then once your cup is full, that's when you naturally have so much energy that you just want to pour out into your projects, into people, into relationships, into work, It becomes so much more regenerative this way than if we're just giving to everything around us, right? And if we are just stuck in that giving cycle, that's when we burn out. That's when we have mental breakdowns. That's when we just, want to throw up the towel and say, I give up. Because we physically do not have the capacity to just give. It has to be regenerative. It has to be nourishing. It has to be this back and forth relationship between external focus and internal focus. And that's why cyclical living is a game changer of a strategy for women to live more in alignment with their body, with their menstrual cycle, and with how they expend their energy, because cyclical living makes space for external focus and projects and creativity and work and hustling and productivity, as well as internal focus, rest, nourishment, emotional self-care, checking in with ourselves, deep spiritual self-care. Okay, because self-care is so much more than just sleeping well, eating well, doing yoga and then journaling and then you're good, right? It's so much more than that. It's about the energy with which we show up to these things with. If you're showing up to your yoga practice with the energy of, I just need to get this done because then I can tick it off the list and then I'm great and then I've just done it. It's like, no, that's not the point. It's not just to tick another thing off the to-do list. It's to externally cut off the noise, disconnect from the overthinking, stuck in the mind cycles, and come back to the body, come back to the self, come back to that deep rooted foundational sense of self-love that we cultivate through showing up for ourselves on a regular basis. And then another reason I said, why don't women prioritize themselves, is they don't see value in it. And so I wrote here, self-care won't make me money. And this is also like a massive illusion because, like I said earlier, your ability to manifest and magnetize opportunities towards you, whether those opportunities be new jobs, a pay raise, any opportunity really, you have to feel like you are worthy for that opportunity to come towards you. You have to be in a state of vertical alignment, meaning you are drawing inspiration from the universe, from God, from source, and from your own body. This is this regenerative cycle. You're not looking outside of yourself to be filled, to be validated, to be energized. We're not getting our energy from caffeine and people and validation and all these external things. We're getting our energy from our internal source, which is our body and our relationship to spirit and to the divine beyond, right? And so I really want to challenge this belief system that some of you may hold, like self-care isn't productive because self-care isn't going to make me money. But actually, what I have found is that the more I do the deep inner healing work, the more I focus on clearing away the blockages of self-limiting beliefs, clearing away the unworthiness, clearing away the insecurities, clearing away like the old patterns and the old shit that is keeping me stuck and keeping me small and keeping me in old patterning. The more I clear that shit, the more spaciousness is available in my body and in my channel for opportunities to flow, because money is energy. And so if your body is blocked with all these emotional suppressions, then money can't flow into you because you're not able to hold it. You don't have the capacity to receive. Okay, receiving is a very feminine energy. It's an energetic that is cultivated in the womb. And so if you want to be able to receive more money, receive more opportunities, receive more success in your business, in your life, in all aspects, okay, you have to clear away the gunk in your body that is preventing you from receiving. When we heal our womb becomes this magnetic force, this magnetic attractor. I see it as this spinning black hole, right? And it's pulling energy into it, okay? And that means that you are pulling opportunities towards you. The womb works in conjunction with the heart. I just watched a reel now about the heart having this crazy powerful magnetic field that it generates, and every emotion that you experience is going to impact the intensity of that magnetic field. And so if you're just suppressing your emotions and just, moving on with your day, getting on with it, leaving it behind and like going forward with your work, it's not like emotions just go away. They stay there, they sit there, they clog up your ability to be proactive, to be energized, to be confident, to be your best version of self, okay? So it's really about how can we reprioritize our life? How can we revalue the things that we haven't been taught how to value, especially a relationship with ourselves, a relationship with our emotions, a relationship with our spiritual side of ourselves, right? Because like I said, self-care is so much more than just the physical things of eating, sleeping, exercise. It's so much more. And if you are a woman living in the body with a womb, you need to prioritize connecting with your womb and honoring the different phases of your menstrual cycle in your self-care. Otherwise, your self-care isn't going to hit as deep. It's not going to have as much of an impact, okay? We want to be overflowing with energy, with love, with appreciation, with joy. We want to be in that overflow space, and the only way we can be in that overflow space is if we give back to ourselves. And when we give back to ourselves, we stop getting into codependent relationships because we're so deeply nourished and self-sourced and self-validated from deep within that there's no need for us to seek validation from others, and there's no need for us to get into these codependent relationships. So really, when we start living cyclically, it enhances every aspect of our lives. It really allows for our energy to overflow into every aspect of our lives and allow for our entire lives to become up-leveled, to become upgraded. Because we're no longer working on this, we're no longer running on this rat race treadmill, like I gotta get it, like it's outside of me, I need to get it, I need to grow, it's like that's that desperation energy, that's that sense of I need, therefore it's coming from lack, okay? And that's actually the best way to repel your manifestations and repel opportunities and money and pleasure and just deep experiences with people. The best way to attract is through that deep self-nourishment, that deep spiritual self-care. And in my workshop taking place on Wednesday, 10th of April, 6 p.m. SAST or CET, which is European or South African time. The link is in my bio to register. We're really going to learn about the importance of cyclical living and how we can manage our energy and time more efficiently so that we can do more and achieve more and have more space, have more energy. There's no point in spending all your energy and all your time hustling, and then at the end of the day you don't have any energy left because you're just so drained and exhausted because you've given it all away to external circumstances, right? So we need to learn how to prioritize and balance our lifestyle that can then overflow into these things around us. We take charge. We set the precedence. You have to move first. And honestly, for me, there's nothing worse than knowing in 1 year's time, I'm going to be exactly where I am now. And that's why I continuously have a growth mindset. I continuously work with coaches, invest in myself, continuously wanting to grow and find new ways because, yeah, like, if you want the same outcomes, keep doing the same things that you're doing now. But if you want to have a life-changing experience of yourself, of your body, if you want to heal your menstrual cycle, if you want to have life-changing sexual experiences with yourself and with your partner, it's going to require you to go down this rabbit hole, to take the road less traveled, to seek alternative ways of doing things. And cyclical living is literally the antidote to burnout. It's the antidote to disassociation. It's the antidote to a woman feeling drained in her life. Please come join us in the workshop on Wednesday. It's free. I can't wait to see you there. You can join us on Zoom live, or if you can't join on Zoom, you can catch the replay, but just sign up anyway. Mwah. Excited to see you there, my loves.